Ronn Dunnett, so good to have you in here in the studio and to have you in New Orleans. This is your first time to New Orleans.
This is my first time.
So as you can tell, I love New Orleans. I love being from here. I love sharing this city with friends of mine who haven't been here yet. So we just completed my camp, and I'm so glad that I got to share with you some of the experiences of getting to hear Shannon Powell in Preservation Hall.
Wow. Yep.
Herlin Riley at Snug Harbor. Myself playing Tipitinas, like everybody in their element. So what were your impressions? What'd you think your first time here?
Overwhelming. And I came in with an open mind. I didn't have any expectations. You know, the name, just the name alone conjures up, you know, all kinds of myth and lore until you've actually been here. I mean, apart from the usual Bourbon Street stuff and the you know, Mardi Gras, you know, for me it was more about the drumming side of it, obviously. And so, yeah, it was how many, an eye-opener. It was overwhelming. It made me realize how much I don't know and how much more, you know, even being here and being immersed in this for a couple of days, I'm thinking, yeah, I need to come back because there's a lot I've left undone and things I need to learn. So, you know, contrast that with, you know, it was a great honor to, you know, finally come down and catch your camp after all these years and actually participate. That was cool to be able to talk to such a fantastic group of students.
Yeah.
They asked so many great questions. They were into it. They appreciated where I was coming from and what I had to say and the approach that I was taking to talking about their instrument. And so, yeah, wow. It's just been fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great group of people that we have a lot of what I call my repeat offenders.
Yes.
Who have become friends. You know, they have, we have the forum on the Drum Academy, right? And then they also have started some of their own Facebook groups to talk with each other, keep in touch with each other. And what I love is when some of them travel to each other's towns, whether they're going with their wives for a vacation or something like that, and they get together and they're posting pictures of them together at their drum studios or hangs and stuff, and so they're becoming friends, and it's becoming this growing, expanding community.
Yeah.
And then this is like their family reunion every year where they all come to New Orleans and hang and get to experience all these things together. So I'm so glad you could come down for what I think might be your first, but hopefully
definitely not my last.
Coming back.
Definitely not my last. No, so. Yeah, and isn't that great? I say it, I don't necessarily want to believe it, but my experience has been drummers they're more, they do what you just described. They get together, they click, they want to share ideas and talk, and I just go, I don't know, is there a guitar camp? Is there a bass camp? I've never, I mean, I'll play those instruments, but, and maybe there is, but the camaraderie and the, you know, exchange and the encouragement when they were at the sort of graduation ceremony at Snug Harbor when they were playing.
Yeah.
Just everybody cheering for each other and encouraging, and the various levels of skill. They went from like, oh my God, I had no idea that guy could play that well, you know, because they're all in pads, but to see it actually, especially them being all charged up and wanting to apply what they had learned, it was...
And cheering for each other.
Yeah.
It was so fun. And just for the people who may not be familiar, you know, with the camp, I've got I've got the Galactic kit set up, so everybody can come back on the breaks and they can check it out and sit down at it. And then I've got another full drum set where I can get people up and play. But then every attendee has either a practice pad kit or a practice pad.
Mm-hmm.
They can rent the kits from me, or they can bring their own practice pad. And we do things together where I'm running through different feels and having them feel what it feels like, playing in between straight and swing. Exercises, for a lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But then we end the whole thing with my trio at Snug Harbor at 5:30, where everybody gets to come sit in with my trio, and
Yeah.
they all get to come and play. And then, you know, David Torkanowski might give this guy a little bit of a solo, and then this guy
He was amazing, by the way. He was
like a traffic director and
Yep.
composer, all conductor, all in one.
And his presence there, along with you, was in and of itself a lesson. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you get the excitement and the experience of being able to take what you learned and what you've had coming into this thing, playing at the famous Snug Harbor, but then the live experience and just seeing him like,
Yeah, and directing guys and being like, okay, stop. All right, I know you can play this better than this. Do this, and then you're going to sound better. Okay, once again, let's try it again. And turning it into almost like a bit of a master class.
it was.
And not just a concert, right? It was a very interactive kind of experience where I hope that everybody got to learn from that experience. And then the way that everybody was just cheering each other on and supporting each other.
Well,
really,
if there was any indicator, it was the fact that the piano player and the bass player were into it. They were enjoying it. You could tell. It wasn't that they were just, okay, let's, you know. And I thought, yeah, they're loving this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a all-inclusive experience, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the students appreciated that. Remember the Stir It Up story was fantastic.
The Ernie Cato ending.
Yeah.
Just go.
And they picked up on that right away. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't need to be told a second time what I need to do. So
Right.
yeah,
Very cool.
It was great.
So, since you're here, let's talk a little bit about, so I had you do a presentation at the camp, and everybody kept coming up to me saying how informative that was and how much they learned that they didn't realize, and also how much more at ease they felt just by hearing some of your thoughts and philosophies on drums and drumming, and how things don't have to be perfect, and how things are oftentimes taken too seriously. And you take what you do incredibly seriously, and your level of craftsmanship is superb, and you're known as one of the best custom drum makers in the world. But let's remember, these are still drums, right?
Of course.
And you can spend all day tuning a snare drum.
Yeah.
The first time you whack it, you think it's going to stay in tune.
These are, just getting to, I think it comes down to intuition. And my takeaway, and every time I do one of those workshops, even the abbreviated one that I gave at your class, was I learned something. And I think the thing that I learned from talking to some of the students who came up after was they were having their intuition validated by me.
That's a good way to put it.
And I'm saying, well, listen, you're validating mine because you're not coming up to, and I invited them to challenge me. I'm like, I always say it's like, this is the gospel according to Ron, as Modern Drummer branded it once, but really I'm going, these are just my opinions, these are my ideas, and this is what I've found, and let's just strip away all of the, whatever goes into making some really bad ideas that just seem to have woven their way into the fabric of what we do, and simplify it and pull the thread and undo the sweater of pant load and call it what it is. And yeah, I was really happy when several of them came up and said, I'm so glad you said that. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
But I was afraid to think it because everything that I'd been taught before was like, oh no, this has to be really, tuning has to be, it's such a mystery. It's like, oh, it's not, it's really easy. It's just try this. you know? And so yeah, anytime people are coming back and they're validating me and they're saying, yeah, I get it now, and you're right, and yeah, it was, totally enjoyed that.
Very cool, very cool. And in that...